Hey everyone, welcome back to my vlog. This is my life, because guess what? This is my life. Don't mind my hair, I just took a quick shower. And as you all know, I buzzed my hair off in the beginning of February. And it is growing back. And I had to do my 2-month cut. And I mainly have to like shave this down and then just take like a little bit off this length. So obviously, since I just showered and it's almost time for bed, I'm obviously not putting anything in my hair. Another thing is I'm just temporarily using the TikTok app to record my videos until I find the right one that I want to be able to record my videos. So it seems to love to put this filter, see, on my face. But since I started recording, I am not going to stop recording just because I got a stupid filter on my eyeballs. Okay, I mean, I wish I could do my makeup like this, but I'm sorry, I'm poor. I couldn't afford the makeup that could do this much to my face. Believe me, I'm 44 years old. I have bags under my eyes. I've gone through 20 years of abuse, stress, and you name it. So what I am doing is I am just using the TikTok app right now, temporarily, until I can find the proper app that I want to use, or site I want to use, to record from. I have a bunch of them, but I haven't tested them out. So we are going to deal with this filter on my face. See, I don't lie when there's a filter thrown on my face. Okay? I know what I look like. And I'm not putting anything in my freaking hair because I'm going to be going to bed soon. I mean, I don't go to sleep until my husband gets home, but I'm going to be going to bed. And my husband gets out of work at a little after 2. Anyways, I'm watching some Bob's Burger on my laptop because obviously I cannot see the TV that's over there. It's around the corner on the wall. And I live in a studio apartment, so it's not like I can move the TV. So, what is tonight's video going to be about? Well, it's 7:36 right now here in New York. And yesterday we just had Easter. For everybody in Canada, you have your Easter today. So what did everybody do for Easter yesterday? How was everybody's Easter? My Easter was okay. It was okay. I made breakfast for everybody. Except for my husband. He was sleeping because he had gotten home a little after 5 o'clock in the morning, so he was still sleeping. I made my daughter and I breakfast. I made eggs and bacon. And then I started to work on the meal. And you're probably thinking, you live in a studio. We have not seen any kitchen stove in here, and that's because there is no kitchen stove in here. Technically, this is a rooming house, but we are fortunate enough to have a room that is as big as a studio. So, what do we have to cook with? Well, we have a crock pot, we have a microwave, we have an air fryer, and we have an electric 2-burner camper thing that I can just place on the table and use. We have another thing that's in storage because we have a lot of shit. So 90% of our shit is in a storage unit because you obviously can't fit all that in here. We have one of those little like toaster things that we could get so we could put like things in and cook them or bake them, whatever. We have 2 refrigerators. They're tiny little college dorm refrigerators. They suck. They suck because you cannot freeze anything in those little freezers. So if there's anything that we have that's got to be frozen, like say we got it from a church or something, somebody gave it to us, there's no way in hell we're freezing it in that tiny little freezer. I'm lucky that we can get hamburger and put it in there and it'll stay frozen. Anything else, you can't. Okay, so that's how I'm able to cook. So I made, I'm not supposed to be eating pork because it messes with my stomach and it messes with my digestion and everything. I'm not supposed to be eating pork. Not a religious thing. It's I have a problem with pork, so we didn't go all out with the pork. And when we went to pick up a ham, that shit's expensive. So we picked up the cubed ham out of the meat section. And what I did is because I did not want to sit there and make my own glaze and everything like I usually do, because my mental health has been shit lately and I was just not in the mood to make a ham glaze. So what did I do? I took pancake syrup, maple syrup, and I poured it. I put the little ham cubes in a bowl, poured the maple syrup on it, mixed that sucker up, and then I put it in the air fryer. I used it in the air fryer. When it was done in the air fryer, it got transferred to a different dish thing, and I added crushed pineapple. Then I made the mashed potatoes. Normally I make my own mashed potatoes, but I don't have much room to do any type of prepping and working with anything. So it was obviously instant mashed potatoes, and then I just used butter. Normally I use sour cream, but unfortunately we did not have any sour cream. We had cream cheese, didn't have any sour cream. Then I made some yams with brown sugar on them. Gotta have my yams. I love them. I made my green bean casserole. I used green beans with cream of mushroom, and normally I put those French onions on top. I forgot about the French onion when we did our grocery shopping. That shows you how well my brain has worked lately. So unfortunately, I had to use like breadcrumbs on top. It still turned out perfectly fine. I made stuffing, and unfortunately, didn't have any biscuits. Didn't have any bread products, which I have to be very careful with bread products. I don't have a gluten problem. I'm not a celiac. I just have a lot of GI problems, and there's problems with my stomach. We're poor, okay? So with 40 cents to our name, till my husband gets his paycheck, we were unable to get any bread. It's fine. I could have made biscuits, but it would have took some time to prep and make the biscuits. So anyways, that's what we had for supper. Other than that, Easter was okay. I didn't do some of the things that I wish I could have done. But when you don't have any money to be able to do certain things, then you can't. And it was a really bummer because a lot of the Easter movies I wanted to watch, they weren't available on TV, and I couldn't find them on demand. And obviously they were not like anywhere on like YouTube or anything unless you wanted to pay for it. So that really sucked. And there's a lot of shows that I really like to watch for Easter. You know, you got the Charlie Brown Easter, you got the movie Hop. You know, I like to watch some Easter movies, you know, Peter Rabbit, you know, those types of Easter movies, but they weren't available to watch. So that was kind of a bummer. And then my husband had to work, going to work at 6 o'clock, so it was just my daughter and I. Here, she mainly spent most of her time talking to her friends on TikTok, talking to her friends on Snap, and I mainly just watched TV. So it was kind of boring, and I wish there was more that we could do, but unfortunately, when you don't have any money to work with, you really can't do much of anything. So that's what we ended up doing. So what did everybody else do on Easter, whether it be yesterday or it be today? Did you have, for those that have children, did you do an Easter egg hunt? I remember growing up, my mom would get the little plastic eggs from like Ames or Walmart, and she would fill it with candy, or she would fill it with money or coins. And scattered around our yard. And the thing is, we had almost 3 acres of land, and my mom would just like scatter like thousands of eggs around the yard. Talk about having your kids be very busy all day. Well, anyways, that's what we would do. We would do Easter egg hunts. I know a lot of people go to places to do Easter egg hunts, but do you do Easter egg hunts in your own home? Like whether it's inside your home or outside your home. Do you have any special like traditions that you do on Easter? I'm not religious. So I wouldn't be going to church. But for those that are religious, I'm sure you went to your Sunday service. I have been to church before. Mainly I stay away from it because of some religion trauma I've dealt with, which I will talk about that in another video. And I apologize for you hearing Bob's Burger, but when I'm home by myself, I need another noise because I suffer with agoraphobia, and I don't like being left by myself because of my agoraphobia. So I have to have noise. So that's why I'm trying to keep it low, where I can hear it. And I know I can hear my own voice, but there's a difference. I can hear my voice, but I need to hear something else as well. Anyways, back to traditions and whatnot. Do you go to certain places? Do you visit certain family members? I don't have any family. My children are my family. My husband is my family. That is about it. I've either been disowned by my family, talk about that another time, or they're passed away. I don't have any parents. Both my parents are passed. So we don't have any, my husband and I don't have any traditions, but there are some things that we've done in the past when we actually had a real apartment. But we live in the city. We live like in the ghetto. So really can't do much of anything. And like I said, kind of broke. And it really sucks that payday is after Easter. So go figure. So how was everybody's Easter? Did you watch any good movies? I think the 10 Commandments was on TV yesterday. The Book of Eli was on TV yesterday. There were some religious movies that were on TV yesterday. But nothing that interests me, so I did not watch it. So I just watched my regular shows. I mean, I did watch a couple. I did turn on the TV, and 50 First Dates was just getting ready to go off. It had maybe 20 minutes left in it, and then I watched Just Go With It. But that was about it. And then I switched over to Adult Swim, which is what I'm doing right now, watching Adult Swim. And then I went through that, and I watched, the Family Guy, Bob's Burgers, American Dad. I did that whole thing like I usually do. So Easter wasn't the greatest for me, but it wasn't the worst. I mean, I've seen worse holidays. So yeah, it's just another thing is I'm going to be doing more with YouTube since I've left TikTok. I'm going to be doing more with my YouTube vlog. So if there's something you want me to talk about or anything, you want to know, I really can't go to many places because, don't have that much money. But we do have some things that are coming up that I will be filming. Just let me know. And believe me, I've gone through a lot of shit in my life, and I can talk about anything. Relationships, mental health, health problems. I can talk about dealing with toxic family. I can dealing with abuse. If you're dealing with abusive relationship or anything, anything. You can ask me anything. And I believe in my description, I do have my email address where you can email me, and I'm checking that email every single day. I check my email every single day, multiple times a day, to check and see if I have any messages from anybody. And then I figured out what I want to do when it comes to my vlog, and there I go. And now that I'm on here more full time, I have a lot more to figure out, especially since I'm going to have to get my other equipment out. My microphone, my sound, my audio mixer, and all that's going to have to come out. When that was normally just for my podcast, it's going to have to switch off to my YouTube vlog. So that's it with my video about Easter. I hope you guys are enjoying watching my videos and also seeing old TikTok videos that I've done in the past. I started TikTok back in October of 2021 full time. So I have like probably about over 3,000 videos on TikTok. I'm not going to put them all on here. I'm picking and choosing which ones I want on here. But you can go to my TikTok and you can see them there. I don't know if my TikTok is linked to my YouTube. It's something I'll have to look into. All right, so I'm going to let you all go, and I will see you all shortly. So, bye for now.